Welcome back. So last lesson I kind of showed you that now we could actually write a login here and it would actually send that information when I click the sign in to our component called the login component. So we got the information right here. Okay. Now what we want to do is just statically trying to validate if the user should actually log in, and if he shouldn't, we can send a message to that user inside this login dialog that we built earlier. So first things first, let's try using this user we have right here to actually figure out if he can log into the system. What we're going to do is we're going to write let, and then we're going to write found or user accepted. What we're going to do is the let is actually just to specify. In the old JavaScript it was a var, but a let is a bit more type safe, more scope safe. I'll discuss that later. Let's just keep it at that for now. So I'm going to say users. Actually, I'm going to say this users because I'm pointing at the array that's placed up here inside the TypeScript file. And here I'm going to do a filter. Let me just show you a filter here. So a filter is actually a way for us to look inside an array for a specific piece of information. So inside the users, the X now represents each user inside the list. So in this case, each X. For this user there will be an X, for this user there will be an X, and for this user. And I want for each X, I wanted to actually try and take the username and verify if that matches the user from the outside, this guy right here, his username. Now, here's where you see type safety playing in, right? Because I don't know if that actually exists. It didn't help me autocomplete this, so I'm just guessing it's there. Let's just make a new line here and make a new dot filter down here. And then we'll filter on the password afterwards if the user actually also has the password. So I'll do a y instead of an x, and then I'll say y.password. There we go, equals, and then of course that should match the user's password. So this is actually it'll be a list of users, so it'll be a list, but it'll only contain one hopefully if our system is set up correctly, which it is. So we'll ask here if user accepted, so if it's actually there, so it didn't get a null back or undefined back, and user accepted dot length, meaning that there's at least one guy in here, so that we can ask if the length is equal to 1. That means that there's one guy in here. Now I could check if that one is actually the right user, etc., but we're not going to do that now. This is very, very basic what I'm going to set up here. If this is the case, then let's just console log that this guy was actually able to log in. If this is not a success, we're going to just console log not correct. Let's just save that and see if we can actually use this filter now to log in. So in case that I put in lbuilder123, I should actually be logged in successfully. So let's try and do that. lbuilder123, let's see what the command prompt says. Press the sign in. Logging successful. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4 and not correct username password. So now we actually have some kind of login validation between the actual login component. Now we also want to set the information back to the view so it doesn't show this but actually redirects if it logs in correctly. See you in the next lesson where we continue on this.